Coming up on MHS1.
We discuss the new ID badges
Dive into this year's first home invasion.
and meet our newest foreign exchange student.
And it's all coming up on MHS1.
Good morning, McKinney High School. Today is Friday, October 5th. I'm Cordrick Dunn.
And I'm Monica Newland, and you're watching MHS1.
Administrators have been cracking down on safety and security. Sam Richards brings us more on the newest ID badges.
New student ID badges have caused confusion amongst the student body.
I guess I understand why we have them, but no one really wears it at all. There's maybe 2 people a day that I see wearing it. If they think it'll help us, then yes, I'll wear it, but as of right now, I kind of don't, because no one's telling me I have to wear it.
McKinney ISD first resisted badges, but critical circumstances called for a change.
But once the idea of safety kind of outplayed the inconvenience of starting this process, then that's when this really started. And so the enforcement of that will start next week.
Increased student security is provided by these new identification badges.
And so if something happens to a student and it's imperative that we know who they are immediately, the name badges will help with that. So that would be another safeguard, is that it identifies the students that are supposed to be on our campus as opposed to not supposed to be on our campus.
Therefore, cooperation of the student body is needed.
All of our student leaders that we have on our campus just tell into their groups, hey, just wear the badges. They're not trying to be mean about it. They're not trying. All that we're trying to do is to try to be as safe as possible. So make sure we're wearing our badges.
This has been Allie Tauber and Samantha Richards reporting for MHS1.
The word engineering comes from the Latin word cleverness.
The clever Sydney Beck brings us the scoop on the engineering team.
The engineering club's coding team won the TSA National Championship over the summer.
We had a team this year made up of 3 students that participated in software design here at school: Hassan Khan, Safat Ahmed, and Leonard Humphrey. For the past 2 consecutive years, they've took first place at regionals. They've taken first place at state both years in a row, and this year is the first time that they made it to nationals, and they won the national championship. I think the newspaper covering it gave us an injection as well, because now that when new people move to the city and that type of thing, well, those are some of the first things that they've seen.
When they started counting down the teams, it was pretty nerve-wracking, and then they finally got to first place and they said McKinney High School was the greatest feeling.
This has been Sydney Beck reporting for MHS1.
Hey guys, I'm Mrs. Brown. This is my house. Come on in. Let's go out to the backyard. I've been teaching at McKinney High. This is my 22nd year at McKinney High. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, hence my t-shirt. And we moved to Texas in January of 1986 for my husband's job. Bought a house and had kids, and so once that happened, we really were here to stay. I just have a little plot in my backyard, because there's not much room back there. These days I just grow tomatoes and peppers. And when we travel, we have a travel trailer called an Airstream. It's a vintage 1950 model that my husband restored. And in some ways, it's still a work in progress. He takes things apart and changes things and puts it back together. So I've been to Yellowstone, I've been to Yosemite, and Colorado is one of my favorite places. And we just find some campground that's pretty remote, preferably by a lake, and just kind of chill and enjoy the beauty and the quiet. that you don't get in the suburbs. We also like having chickens in our backyard for the fresh eggs, and just because they're very funny and entertaining to just sit out on the back porch and watch the chickens because they're silly. I started teaching because when I was taking a lot of math classes in college, I just realized that I really liked math and I was pretty good at it, and I was always explaining things to my classmates, and they would always say, "You should be a math teacher, you should be a math teacher." And so finally I did, but it took me a while. I didn't start teaching till I was in my 30s, and I just like trying to get students excited about math, but that's always a challenge. But I've always felt at home in the educational setting and love learning and love to be in an environment of learning. It's a lot of fun, it's a lot of hard work, it's exhausting, but very rewarding when you see students grow and from where they were at the beginning of the year till the end of the year, and there's so much, their skills improve and they feel much more confident, and that's really satisfying.
The English department has chosen to focus on social justice literature. Mary Beth Plaster and Emily Hauser brings us more.
This year in AP English 3, students are reading books about social justice. All of them deal with very extreme societies in which the government has taken over in some way.
We chose for the first quarter to look at dystopian novels, and we chose The Handmaid's Tale, 1984, and Brave New World. They're all about dystopian societies where things have gone terribly wrong in some way. In 1984, you've got government control of most things. Handmaid's Tale, you've gone back to a really repressive society for women. Brave New World, technology's kind of taken over and all kinds of strange things are happening. I think that all three of these authors took an idea and said, what's the worst that could happen? I think they all talk about similar themes of being aware of what's going on around you.
The Handmaid's Tale and 1984 were just two of the books students chose to read.
I'm reading The Handmaid's Tale. I chose The Handmaid's Tale because I've heard about it more than all the other books. You're more exposed to it.
1984 by George Orwell. It's about like a dystopian future where the government controls everything and no one has like any voice whatsoever.
My book is very controversial because it does expose men in a very bad light, and some ways women too. I honestly don't think that our world would turn into a society like that.
One thing that surprised me was like how like brainwashed they all seem to be. Like everyone is like so into the party.
This book definitely made me feel very sad in some ways, because you would be so depressed to live a life like that, to be forced to just submit to men all the time and just be below everyone in society no matter what you did.
This has been Mary Beth Plaster and Emily Hauser reporting for MHS1.
Barcelona is known for its culture, beauty, and history. We now have some of that here. Sarah Hamadi, Carson Gorman, and Maddie Newkirk help us shed light on our newest foreign exchange student.
Hola, me llamo Marina y soy de España.
Upon hearing about the foreign exchange program, a sophomore, Marina Novell, knew it was an opportunity for her to take.
So my cousin did an exchange year in the United States almost 10 years ago, and I was a little kid, and this always has been my dream to live here in America.
She has grown to have a deep connection with her Texas host family.
Having a host family is one of the things that I was kind of afraid, because I was gonna live 1 year with some people that I didn't know. But I love them because they are like so cool and so sweet with me, and I just feel like I'm at home. When they told me that I was coming here to Texas, I was at the beginning I was in shock, because I never like imagined that that my year will be here in Texas, but it's fine. I like it here.
Though she misses her home in Spain, Marina has found another family at home in McKinney High School.
I never get homesick, but I obviously miss my family and my friends and the moments with them. But I know that this is gonna work, and 1 year without them, it's not gonna be that hard.
This has been Maddie Newkirk, Carson Gorman, and Sarah Humadi reporting for MHS1.
The Lionettes volleyball team played Prosper this Tuesday and fell 0-3, making their district record 5-1. Tonight they'll play away at Allen at 6:30. The Lions cross country team placed 6th in the McNeil Invitational meet and will be running their district meet October 12th at Myers Park. The Lions football team fell to Allen this past week and have a bye week this week. They will be playing at John Clark Stadium versus Plano Senior October 12th at 7. That's all for sports.
The SPCA has been helping animals for 152 years. Emily Hauser brings us more information on this amazing program.
Our local animal shelter called the SPCA in McKinney has many staff members and volunteers to help you find the perfect companion for you and your family. Every day, they have a lot of new visitors who are interested in adopting a new pet.
The SPCA is an organization founded on helping animals, so its acronym stands for Society for the Prevention of Cruelty Towards Animals. So our goal is to advocate for animals at different stages of their life, whether it's a young animal, old animal, etc. Our goal is to be able to rehabilitate them here and be able to have them be ready for adoption to a good and loving home. We do have dogs and cats, but we also have at this facility in McKinney, we have livestock animals. So that means that we have horses, oftentimes swine, goats, and sheep. And recently we had a humane seizure of many hens, so we have lots of chickens.
There's so many animals out there that need homes. It's just ridiculous. If I could, I'd adopt all of them because the amount of animals that come in throughout these doors every single day and, you know, other shelters as well, it's hard.
If you're interested in adopting, I would highly recommend that you, number one, communicate to your family about that, because in order to adopt, it's a whole family decision. My favorite part of volunteering is knowing that with whatever I do, even a small thing, I'm making an impact somewhere.
The things that we do here, it's very, very rewarding. It's not easy, no, but it is extremely rewarding to just be a part of that and to be able to see everything that goes on and to be so hands-on with everything. So yeah, it's a good experience. It's not always fun and sometimes a little sad, but other than that, just being a part of a nonprofit that does so many things and has such a big heart, it's one that I wouldn't trade for anything.
This has been Emily Hauser reporting for MHS1.
Hey guys, welcome to the very first MHS1 ASMR. ASMR is very relaxing. You know what's not relaxing? Traffic. Do you know what we do at yield signs? We don't stop. Stopping creates traffic, which makes us feel stressed. No stress. We don't like stress on MHS1 ASMR. You have your own lane. You can just go through. Don't stop at the yield sign. Thank you.
And that's all we have for you today. Follow us on Twitter at Mainstream News. And remember,
If it's news
and it's at McKinney High School, it's MHS1.